What is going on, Nitro gang? I hope you're enjoying the nice green colors of this Kyosho Inferno. You know, today is Saturday night, and we got the green on the table. What did you think I was going to say about Saturday night in Kyosho? Couldn't think of a great joke. All that matters is the mission of this particular video, which is not unlike any other mission. Make a Nitro ready to be driven down the sickening track. Because tomorrow, my understanding is, guys, there will be electric versus Nitro battles. And in fact, even I heard, rumor has it, the running man, Arnold, will show up. So I have to be prepared, if you know what I mean. How you doing there? We got RC Adventures. Happy to have you here, man. Yes, we got these Arma tires. There's a story behind every Arma tire there is. And the story here is this guy was trying to be slick. The question is, how slick will the center diff be? For those of you that know my history with center diffs, I think you would understand the joke. Nobody likes a slippery center diff. We got Rory. How you doing, man? I appreciate your comment today on today's Kyosho video. We got Texas Hill, John Koenig. How you doing? RC, Chef Beardsley, Big Boys Toys, Dylan Siebert. We got Corey. How you doing, man? Who did I miss? The Nitro Addiction is here with us today. Lotus RC, All Aspects RC. We got Travis. The rest of you guys I'm going to mention as you keep coming in. Barn Cat, also appreciate your comment today. Sergio M, Michael Sucha. Now, guys, Uncle BGA, who here thinks this is a dope buggy? I'm be honest with you, it's pretty okay. I don't know how high level dope it is. You know, these are more or less kind of entry level models, but I will admit they are very, very good looking. Me personally, I'm okay with something like this. It's not the highest end. I'll take the body off. We'll take a look at it. But I think the center diff might be a problem. Now, I'm actually sitting over here looking up the manual. I'll show you the manual in a little bit. The maintenance guide for the center diff to figure out what weight oil they used. Because the center diff in this thing is looser than the current political system. Okay? It appears any nook and cranny of the political scheme affair will be filled up with criminals. I don't support that kind of agenda. What I do support is ethical center diff treatment. So I'm going to see if this 500K weight diff oil will be okay. Normally, if you want to kind of lock it up a little bit more, you probably want to go with something like 1 million. You know, I'm not the center diff king over here. I'm just a guy with a green body on a buggy on the table. Boosted RC, man, how you doing? Happy to see you. JR's Garage, I'm curious, guys. Is the video quality today acceptable? I know the other day people were saying, bro, you are more mirrored than apparently the fake mission that went to the moon. Oh, no, what was it? Katy Perry was the first pop singer to go to space. You know what? I don't care about that any more than I care about the fact that egg prices are still high. You know why I don't care? Because I'll eat a substitute. Can't have eggs? Guess what, my dudes? Get a donut. Donuts are good. Whatever happened to donuts for breakfast? Could I get a hell yeah for donuts for breakfast, please? Thank you. So, let us continue. These models are actually still completely brand new. You can pick them up at AMain. I did put a link for this if you want to pick it up. But for real, we're all over here worried about eggs for breakfast. Have you ever considered an alternative, which is a donut? I seriously think that's a really delicious alternative. In terms of protein, of course, it's disgusting. Yes, you're going to gain some weight. Yes, you'll probably have to get the weight medication that, you know, these pharma companies are spewing out. But you're going to have a delicious breakfast. I don't know what you want me to tell you guys, okay? Well, everybody here likes brisket. I like brisket. Guess what? An egg white is healthier. But this country apparently can't give you those egg whites at this moment in time. Anyway, let us continue. If you want to pick one of these up, I did put a link in the description to this video. They're in the low 400s. You know, like years ago, these buggies were substantially cheaper, but I think there is value in this model. So radio-wise, I do like the radio. My favorite feature on this radio, this is the same radio that you get with the USA 1, by the way. Now, radio-wise, the two main important features here would be your throttle EPA for the, high and low throttle EPA. So basically these two knobs, very, very, very important priority, top level priority, kind of like good tires on a car to pass inspections, which is something I know about. You want to ask me how I know about it? Because my Lincoln LS tires are bolder than a bald beaver. Okay, that is how bold the Lincoln LS tires are. Last time I went to get a car inspection, they told me, man, this thing is a beautiful car, but we're going to fail you because your tires are not beautiful at all. All right, that's what they said. Then I rolled up and I went home. Anyway, let us continue. So, very, very important. Without this, you could easily overstress the servos. EPA lives matter. Melissa, we have any donuts in the fridge?
No.
I ate all the donuts, right? Yes. Okay. Of course. Now, Losi goes, I've been doing burnouts. Now, of course, it's a 2004 LS V8 small block Ultimate. Puts out 300 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels. I mean, who's going to say no to a nice little donut burnout? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be that guy. I won't be that guy. Either way. So, I'm going to take the body off. The goal is actually to run this tomorrow. But yes, the Lincoln LS is actually a very, very good donut monster. It has the Ford Advanced Track System. Nitro J, how you doing, man? Max Paul, how you doing? Tomorrow is Easter. I am fully aware. And this is disguised as a green Easter egg. Believe it or not. So, let's take the body off. I do want to run this tomorrow. This is the stock engine. This thing, other than the tires, is 100% Factoriola original. Ron Coco, how you doing, man? Oh, missed your comment over there. My good old buddy. Yes, man. There's been some changes there. And those changes have affected me. But we could talk about that later. The mission of today is just to make Nitro great again, so to say. RC Cape Cod, how you doing, man? So let's take the body off. I mean, once you've seen the buggy, you've basically seen them all. Body's pretty clean. So Kyosho does make two RTR buggies at this point, unless I'm mistaken. I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken. This is obviously the cheaper one. How do you know it's a cheaper one? We have ourselves a plastic spur gear. The spur gear is 100% Tesla grade plastic. Okay? But I will say, Teslas do come with 100,000 mile warranties on their garbage batteries. This one comes with no warranty. But so far, it looks like these racing slicks have not killed it. So who are we to say that they are bad? Maybe they are just okay. The pipe here, it's probably one of the ugliest pipes I might have ever seen. But it doesn't leak. They did do a weird two-piece design over here. They could have used the serpent style, inline, single style coupler here. But whatever, as long as it doesn't leak, it doesn't leak. These aren't like very high-end models. Suspension-wise, we do have pretty proper suspension, I would say. It is pretty smooth. Doesn't really, the dampening, I would say, is very good in my opinion. They're not aluminum shocks, but you do have adjustable shock collars on the bodies and the caps themselves. Fuel tank does have a filter on the bottom, so you're going to be okay. Let's continue. We have the original Kyosho servos. This is the KE21R. Now, if you get the USA 1 or the GT2, You know, those are more premium models. Those will come with the KE25, which is a 25 size engine. 21, I personally like them. I never had any problems with them. They never fought me. I never fought them. You know what I'm saying? So, history on this. I picked this one up not too long ago. But first, let me just say hello to everyone out here, and then we will continue. My goal, as I said, is to make this thing a runner. And I have a sneaky suspicion. The suspicion is sneakier than the people in our current government who get elected with absolutely no mental fortitude of any kind. The suspicion is we have none of this in that diff. And that is why I hate center diffs, guys. Give me a second right here. We will do a little camera check to see if the view is reversed. More like mirrored. All right, here I am. Oh, look at that. The live sign is still completely mirrored. You know, I just watched a tutorial on how to unmirror your videos. It's mirror gang over here, mirror gang. Anyways, today I was on a epic Nitro road trip. We hit up the I-80 West. There were sinkholes. It added about 35 minutes to my commute to pick up a pair of sickening Nitros, the ones I told you all about yesterday. They are in the car right now. I'm not going to take them out right now, but they are in the car right now. Barncat, how you doing? Either way. Okay, Nod goes, Hybrid, do you like the Neo 3.0 better than 2.0? So yes, the 3.0 is the modern version. That's the one you want. You know, part support is really good on A-Main. I looked at like maybe 7 videos on how to unmirror the stream. Every video was incorrect. I checked my phone settings. There is a setting for the front camera that you could remove the mirror effect. Mine is actually completely off already. So what the heck, I want to say. What the heck. Luckily, the spider is very symmetrical, so we don't have to worry about mirroring the spider. Oh, by the way, today we had a fly in the car. Melissa almost caused a crash. She almost caused a crash, bro. She slapped my leg. Melissa, you slapped my leg during the car ride today near the sinkhole on I-80.
No, I did not.
Look up I-80 sinkhole, you'll get it, okay? It's unfortunately, we got engineers in this country that don't do proper water drainage. Okay, anyways, enough nonsense. Let's check the Ben. How you doing, bro? Happy to see you. By the way, guys, today, the Kyosho Nitro Blizzard video came out. I know at least 25% of you in here watched it. And that'll be very good. You know, I don't force my viewers to do anything. But if you got a minute or two, load up the damn video. Maybe I'll get half a penny for ad revenue. Who knows? Maybe less than half a penny. The way YouTube is going, things are not looking very positive. Mirror.
I know.
You're in the mirror.
I know. Move the mirror thing.
I ain't moving nothing.
Move it.
Got Tarek. How you doing, bro? Happy to see you here, man. Yes, today's Kyosho actually belonged to our good old channel member, viewer, friend, Tarek. I do have one of my own, by the way. The one you saw in my video was the one with the blue body. That one is, you know, in much worse condition. But I will say, if you haven't seen that video, it is unlike any Nitro ever made before. It goes where no Nitro was meant to go, especially when the captain is Picard. Javier SN95, how you doing, man? Okay, let's get back to this Kyosho. I'm going to go fire it up. Oh, by the way, I got myself a little bit of an electric RC. I was home for like half the week, you know. It's pretty much sad conditions. You guys know what went down with Melissa's family member. You know, death in the family, pretty bad. You know, when you sit at home, you do a lot of shopping. Melissa, you want to show them what I bought?
I'm not going upstairs.
It's on the couch. Sandy was playing with it before. But anyway, you know how it is when you're home. You either buy sneakers or you buy remote control cars. Which one do you think I did? You think I need more sneakers? I don't support Nike's slave labors. I support Losi slave labors. Kidding around. I don't at all. Anyway, I might pull it out later. It's actually one of the links in the description to this video. Massive, massive sale on the Losi JRX2. More than 50% off. It's a small electric car, but I have big plans for it. And the plans will involve a Nitro engine. That is the goal out here. So, Nitro J, how you doing, bro? If you all want to see, I'll pull out the Losi. They're like limited stock. They're super cheap. It's a second link in the description to this video. Comes with a 2S LiPo. It's pretty much sickening. So, let's get down to business over here. It's a windy day out today, huh? The winds are angry today in the troposphere. So, I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in this. So in this particular one, I have Sidewinder. I got it with this Buggy, so I'm probably just going to finish it off. It's 20% nitro, 12% oil. In fact, this is a pretty dope blend. So yeah, if you guys want to see the Losi, I can pull it out before I go outside. If Melissa wants to show it, you know, you got to motivate her. She said I am not motivated. Well, I guess the viewer's not going to see it then.
Well, show
Let me fuel this up.
Okay, show them when you go downstairs.
Now, when I go downstairs, I only have one mission. That is to put nitros in the fridge. Okay. Get me the glow driver, please. I do want to just check the center diff. Like I said, it's amongst the world's worst. But who knows what the history of this thing is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab these tires. I'm going to spin it. There's literally no resistance going to the front at all. That means the center diff is very, very loose. Pretty much like, you know, America's foreign relations policy. You know, you know, we got tariffs one day, then we got no tariffs the next day, right? You can't do it. Who you think is profiting from this? Short sellers. The rich people, the short sellers. So we got literally nothing going in the front. It's toast. It's beyond toast. They got nothing. But the question is, will we have a runner? That's my plan for tomorrow. It does appear that removing the center diff is quite easy. I mean, it is a Buggy after all. Shouldn't be a big deal. Let's take a look at the bottom of the chassis to see what kind of life this thing has had. I would say average life, some minimal to moderate pitting over here, but the chassis is fairly straight. No major scratches. I noticed this spur gear is real close to the bottom over here. Real close. But that's okay. Flywheel is kind of recessed. I would say average access for a starter box. Probably amongst, not the best, but not the worst. Yes, the Kyosho MP9 is a significantly better car. This is like an entry-level RTR model. But, listen, we all got to start somewhere. Am I right about that? Usually, yes, I'm right. Okay, give me a second and we're going to go outside before it gets dark out there. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be a runner? Oh, man, Big Boys Toys, congratulations, man. 3 MSX3 rollers for a good deal. That's impressive, man. That's impressive. Where's the glow driver? Oh, I got it. Okay. Let me test out the electronics. I mean, the electronics are going to be, I'll test them out on the Melissa, move, please.
Where?
I got to go downstairs, man. Come on.
I'm trying not to see me in the mirror.
Did you say mirror? Are you from the Jersey Shore?
No.
Is Mike your best friend?
No.
Mike is my best friend. John Smith, how you doing? Canon stuff, how you doing, bro? Okay, Melissa, I have to get out of here. Come on.
I'm waiting for you to move out.
Is Mike the Miz your BFF?
No, don't make this distraction.
All right. By the way, guys, there will be more on that Kyosho. Nitro Pimp, how you doing, bro? We got the Kyosho Inferno Neo 3.0. You can get these at A-Main. They are actually in stock. It's hard to believe. It's true. It's true, like Kurt Angle says. So let's go. We're going to do a quick fire up just to make sure it's okay. And then, well, I don't know what else I got to do. I got to do a little race prep. I don't know if I want to dig into the center diff, to be honest with you guys today, but we'll see how I feel. Give me a second. We're going to go out. Where's the glow driver? I got it? Okay. Move.
No.
By the way, thank you all for being here tonight. Special thanks to the channel members, the viewers, and the positivity. And you know, when I say positivity, I don't mean just kiss-assing. I don't want any ass kissing, okay? I want realistic, legitimate enjoyment. I'm making my way outside. I'm wondering if I need a jacket. That's going to be the question of the day. Give me a second. It's a little dark. I get it. In life, sometimes we do have dark moments. Got locked out in the back door. Melissa locked me out again. She likes to lock people out. Right, everybody. We're back. Got locked out, but it's fine. Open the gate. Let me get ready with this Kyosho. Electronics. Servo seems fine. When I brake, you do have rear brakes, you do have front brakes. The brake bias is adjustable. You guys hear me okay? Because we're about to do a fire in the Nitro hole. All right? Oh man, Nitro Pimp running a Terror Crusher. And that's gonna be exciting. One of my favorite RCs out there, man. All right, I'm gonna prime it. Is the throttle trim just a tad? All right. What do you think is gonna happen, everybody? It's gonna be sickening, huh? I have to start it from the other side. Fire in the hole. Left-handed. It's almost there. I didn't prime it enough. Sounds pretty good. Idle is good. All right, done. Great idle. It's enough. There's a lot of people out here. It's kind of windy. Clifford, how you doing, bro? So yes, we had ourselves a proper fire in the hole. That's why These Kyosho buggies are just so solid. They're really kind of no nonsense, you know what I'm saying? The idle is good, they're relatively fuel efficient, they're easy to work on, and the parts are fairly inexpensive. So let's go back in. I'm wondering, guys, should I begin digging in the center diff? I don't know if I want to be honest with you, but the problem is we have close to no center diff action at all. It is completely loose. I need to put some grease in there or earplugs. Haven't decided yet which. John Smith, what's up, bro? Goes, yes, do it. All right, Texas Hill goes, dig away. You see, the thing is, there's kind of a situation. If you want to make videos great again, you can't really be doing too many live streams. That's kind of the situation. It takes up a lot of energy. So, you know, for me, it's a little bit tough. You know, a lot of channels have gone, and this is nothing to say about other people. You know, I don't really like to talk about other people, but kind of like the YouTube workload, I would say, if you want to dedicate yourself to making standalone, edited, proper, easy to view videos, then the streams really do take up a lot of your time. And that's kind of the situation I'm in right now. But since I love this hobby, and I could say, I don't want to say the rest, let's go to work on it. Today's society, you know, don't want to be taken out of context. Yeah, these engines run real good. All right, let me go back upstairs. If Melissa is gracious enough, maybe she'll bring the car I bought. If not, then, you know, she won't. It's pretty much straightforward like that. All right, Melissa, did you hear it?
Yes, I did.
We got ourselves a runner. A massive, fat, double chalupa runner.
Okay.
Okay, now goes the FW06 runs real good. Yeah, the Kyosho engines, you know, they're not powerhouses, but they are real solid, easy to fire up. But honestly, that kind of statement is pretty much, could be said about anything. You know, in terms of engines, you either have very high compression, hard to start, but high power, or run-of-the-mill engines that are just reliable. So I'm not here to tell you this is the best in the world. This isn't CM Punk. This is more like the Hurricane. If anybody here knows, you know what I'm talking about. Well, let's go bring the RC from the downstairs. Come on, boo. You don't want me to take an awkward silence gap, do you? No awkward silence. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm going to show you that one, and then we'll progress. So I'm over here looking at the manual for Kyosho, just to see what kind of diff oil they're using. Honestly, I'm not really sure what they're saying, so we'll take a look at it. All right, so now that we know we have ourselves a good runner, I do really want to get to the center diff. Man, I hate working on center diffs. All right, Melissa got what it is that we got. If you all want to see it, I'll show it to you. It's on a massive clearance. Let me show you quickly. If you want to order it, right now is the time. 1 second, okay? All right, so here we go. We got ourselves the stream. How you all doing? Thank you for participating. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. It's actually more than 4. Just didn't refresh. Probably not much more than 4. Maybe 6. So we got the Losi JRX2. $79. This went down from $169. I mean, it's a small electric. I could pull it out right now. I mean, I literally have it right here on the couch next to me. But, you know, it is a retro design to a degree. And, you know, it is a Losi, so it does have good quality. Comes with a 2.4 gigahertz radio, aluminum shocks in the front, all of that stuff. So if you want to get it, I would really recommend it for the price right now, because these are normally about $169, right? Okay, boo. Let's take the Losi out. You thought I was joking, huh? Why would Hybrid have to joke about RCs? This is an RC channel. Joking about RCs wouldn't make any sense.
It is. You don't see me. Oh, shit. Then move the mirror.
Rock and Roller Ghost, can you still buy Micro Nitro? No, that's no longer a thing. It's dead. The manufacturers just don't care. They killed that whole segment. Now we got mini electrics to make Nitro. That's pretty much why I want to make that happen. Melissa, I need you to move that computer from the table. I literally have no square footage. I am about to build a kitchen island in this room. Okay, she got angry at me just now. Well, I didn't mean for you to leave. Ah, she left. That's it. We're sad. That's it. Can't do this without Melissa. What's up there, Harlem NYC? How you doing? All right, so who here wants me to take it out of the box? I already ran it. It runs pretty consistent. It's not fast, if you're wondering. So, what do we got? They say we got ourselves a unique Losi 5-link suspension. So yeah, I mean, you know, the USA 1 is 5-link, but this is like vintage 5-link type of stuff. It's not like the same as like a truck. Fiberglass chassis, real rubber off-road tires, lightweight wheels. I wonder why they had to say real rubber off-road tires as opposed to what? Real fake tires? Wide track front end. I mean, compared to what, 1980? Probably. Rack type steering, which is basically regular steering. Well, you could have Ackerman, right? Next, precision steel ball bearings. That's actually important because for this price point, ball bearings are not a thing. If you get like a Tamiya, they're not even ball bearings. You have to upgrade that. Internally pressurized oil-filled chocks. That's a good idea. This is pretty catchy. Needed to complete memories. Nothing else. Everything included. That's pretty clever. Where's the opening? There you go. Where's the front? It's right here. So, you know, they color-wise, whatever, we got the one that's on sale, okay? So we got this one because, like, that's the one on sale. I mean, who cares? It's a retro car. Like, you know, everything was pink in the 80s, guys. Pink was a big thing in the 80s. You know, people probably had pink VCRs. Kidding around, nobody had pink VCRs. They were all black or gray, of course. But it's a pretty dope car for the money right now. I mean, I did run it. It actually runs pretty good, surprisingly. So this is what we got. I already opened it. You know, I didn't do an unboxing on this. This isn't RC Driver Online, where they unbox every toy grade RC and tell you that it's fantastic. No. I'm going to tell you this is good for the money. That's about it. So we got ourselves, you know, kind of a trimmed down Spectrum radio gear. It is 2.4 gigahertz. Foam wheel. Good for one-handed driving. That's about it. I would say if they expanded the base a little bit, it would be a little bit easier to position it, but it does stand on its own to some level. You know, probably the world's worst level. But here we go, is the Losi itself, the JRX2 Mini. I like it. I don't know. It's pretty dope. In the front, we do have aluminum oil-filled chocks. They are fillable from the bottom, which is normal for this time period. Team Associated used to use the same kind of thing. Springs are nice and soft. You could adjust them with these collars. pretty typical. Fiberglass shock towers, fiberglass chassis. Here is that 5-link suspension they're talking about. I actually thought this was more of a trailing arm, but I guess, you know, maybe one of us is wrong over here. And I don't think it's me. Let's take a look at the chassis itself. For the price, 79 bucks right now. You know, for the full retail price before, I would not have bought it. But if you want to get it, use the link. Maybe I'll get $3 for commission, just maybe. Maybe less. We have body clips. I'm only using 2 right now, but generally this does use 4 body clips. You have 1 here, 1 in the back, and 2 on the sides. I'm thinking, honestly, this thing did not need 4 body clips. But since this is essentially a scaled down model from a 10 scale mini mechanical, how you doing, bro? Yeah, this was cheap, okay? But don't worry, I started the stream off with firing up a Nitro, so we still Nitro gang out here, you know. CLZ Lil John, what's up, bro? Let's continue. So I'm gonna take the body off. I mean, it's not bad for what it is. Body's pretty thick, really, really well painted. The wing and the surprisingly interesting feature is slidable back. I don't know why you would particularly want that. I mean, these things aren't that fast for it to really matter. But it looks like they really went out of their way to mount it on like a sliding rail setup. Fascinating, you could say. If this stuff is fascinating, that is. All right, next up, we got the chassis itself. You know, right now for the price, 79 bucks, this is what you're going to get. So you do have an included 2S lipo. This is like their reaction lipo. Pretty normal. Mini connectors, a Spectrum servo, mini servo, an aluminum drag link, which they call rack steering. So steering is pretty good. Integrated servo saver, waterproof power switch, combination 2-in-1 ESC. Notice this in the back. Yeah, so it has a small brushed motor, but we do have like a proper aluminum plate right here that protects the rear end. That's pretty nice, similar to like you know, the Losi T3, Associated T3. Big magnet used for interference protection on the wires going to the motor. The most popular upgrade for these is the brushless system. You know, these aren't the fastest, but like I ran it, it was honestly a little surprisingly not bad. All right, everybody. I think we're going to have to call it a day. The viewer gang has disappeared, and I got editing to do, I think. Maybe I'll turn it on if you want. Weird thing is they put the power switch. I don't want to say it's that weird. It's okay. I kind of would prefer it in the back here. They put it on the side on the left, on the left side. It's like hidden. So I'll power it on, you know, whatever it goes on. I already have the wires connected, so I'll turn it on a little bit if you want. Yeah, boom, there you go. Steering is really... Son of a... Steering is really good. It's really good. Throttle. It has some pep. It appears just with a gearing change, you can get a couple more miles an hour. I haven't really speed tested it, but this does use like modern, what appears to be 38 pitch gears. The shocks are pretty nice touch. Fiberglass shock towers, fiberglass chassis, 5-link. I would call this trailing arm suspension, to be honest with you. The wheels are pretty dope. They have good grip. Appears like no foam inside, maybe. And it looks like we have pre-positioned spaces there for different pinions. I read the whole manual. Let me zoom in on this gearing. I read the whole manual. It doesn't tell you what the stock pinion is. I mean, I guess I'll have to count it. Maybe So it goes from 19 to 17. But there's also a third position there. So what is that for? I am not convinced what that is for. But I read the whole manual, didn't say what it's for. So that's the Losi. I mean, for 79 bucks, it's pretty fun actually. I mean, for a large space, it's gonna be garbage. But to like chase your cat around at home and to do mini stunts, it'll be pretty fun. And plus, it came with 4 AA's also. Wow, guys, I took a Losi electric out, lost 15 viewers. Wow. Putting this body on is extra annoying, though. Because the thing is, it looks like these body posts here are kind of unnecessary. I mean, for the price right now, I would say it's a bargain. Well, this is the 1/16th. Or isn't it? Well, I don't know. They call this a mini or something, but it's pretty dope. Suspension-wise, not bad. Countersunk screws. I mean, this would honestly be a really good gift to somebody for the money. And it comes with some pretty proper equipment. So if you want to pick one up, I put the link to this in the description to this video. They're only 79 bucks right now. All right, everybody. I don't know. I think I'm going to end it early. Doesn't look like to be a lot of viewership here today. Only RC Nitro. What's going on, man? Don't want to dig into this, you know, get all dirty. I could just probably do this whole video. I do have to dig into the center diff, in fact. I might begin doing it. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Yo, Melissa, you still angry at me or what? Kyle Carnes, how you doing, man? What'd you get? Tell us. Some delicious food. What'd you get? Chicken teriyaki? Sesame chicken? Nitro Pimp with a good question. Question is, are these filters good? My answer would be these amongst the worst. Amongst the worst. I mean, I've checked this one. It's okay. They're not very large on the inside. These are breather air filters. I know one of my buddies first got, a long time ago, the first GT2. When it first, well, the Dodge Challenger GT2. And, you know, he never removed the air filter, actually, like, ever. But I ran his GT2 with him. He ran fine. Like, nothing ever bad happened. Then all of a sudden, one day, zero compression. Compression left the building. So I go to him, man, did you ever take the air filter off? He goes, no, I never took the air filter off. We took it off. Everything basically was making it past the filter element. The way they seat the foam on the inside here is just not very good. That's my understanding. This one I checked. It's fine. I don't really run in a lot of dirt. He might have, like, you know, ran it in some sand. But, like, sand easily made it through. If you want, I can, like, show you inside this filter. But I'm not a big fan of these filters. Their goal is to be more or less a breather filter. So when you get water, it doesn't, you know, the water will eventually leak out from the bottom. But if that works, from my experience, I've seen it not do anything. Also, they're highly restrictive. The Traxxas filters are really the best flow filters. And they're easy to acquire, and their rubber boots are very good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these filters. As you could tell, you know, I really don't... yeah, Tarek, yeah, I'm telling you, these filters are just not very good. I mean, I could remove this and show you the housing. Sometimes when you put the filter in, it must not seat correctly on the other end. And basically sand, whatever, will make it through this hole over here on the inside. And basically, you're going to get sand or whatever going down through the boot. It's just going to happen. Melissa, you want to come back? I'm bored out here. All right, so I got to remove these brake things. I need a... let me get the right tool. A 1.5 millimeter. Okay. Could have removed the servo horn, to be honest with you, too. That probably would have been the right thing to do, but it'll just swivel out this way, regardless. Okay. Okay, we got the brake lever. Big Boys Toys, bro, thank you for being a long-time channel member. Gotta make sure that these parts are not lost. So so the brake cam has to be positioned in this direction. See, this is the annoying part with these diffs. You got to remove it from the bottom, essentially. Okay, I basically see the way they go in. They could only go in one direction, like the band. That band's still around. Okay, this one is fine. This I'll swing around. This will be good. We have access to the diff, but I would have to remove it from the bottom. Okay, so it's time to remove the screws from the bottom now. All right, we gotta get these screws out. All right, Ben, you have a good night, man. Travis wants to know, do I ever use power tools? It's infrequent. There's nothing like the feel of a proper screwdriver when you're working on a Nitro. I don't mind taking a couple more, you know, 1 minute or two, whatever. Okay, I'm on the last one. So this screwdriver, I'm going to tell you, it's a Stanley screwdriver. Got this at Lowe's a while ago. It's probably the best overall screwdriver I've ever had in my life. It was about $3 at Lowe's. Like in the real cheap screwdriver section, by the way. You got to go to the ones that are like by the bottom of the floor. Okay. So I'm going to lift this out. Drive shafts are going to fall out, but it don't matter. I'll put them back in after. Okay, here we go. That's right, John, man. We got the center diff out, guys. So, yeah, this is the way it would normally be. The front, the rear. There's pretty much no way you could put it in incorrectly. Because if you flip it accidentally, you won't have gear mesh with the clutch belt. So I'm not too worried about, you know, misassembly. Bearings seem good. Spur gear is plastic, of course. I'm wondering if I should just use this hole to put the diff fluid in. I'm quite convinced that's what it's for. Or just open it up and stuff one earplug in there. That's the other option. What do we say, everybody? Thing is, I'm quite convinced we're gonna have to go with an earplug. Check the inside there. Oh, naked in the middle. Yeah, Lotus goes earplug. I think that's gonna be the case because it already looks like these seals are bad. It looks like stuff has already leaked out to a degree. Okay, so we're gonna have to disconnect the brake bolts and slide these off. Let me just see, I'm looking, oh no. Yeah, I'm easily able to like spin it. You see, like this, easily. See, the problem is I don't want to really disassemble this. Metal spur. Now, Travis, there, I don't have a metal spur gear for this. I'm wondering if I can remove this without removing the disc brake. Let me look at the manual. No, I don't think you can. These things go in pretty much that way. All right, yeah, you have to remove the disc brakes. The thing is, I don't want to mess with the tolerances. So you have to remove the brakes. And just see how much give there is. All right, so it's about... this is a real tedious job. I gotta tell you, this is not a really good live stream repair. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm only have to do the side one. All right. It appears I don't have to remove the other screw. How do you get this thing out? Forgot where. There should be... Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, it just slid out. So I have one that I didn't really have to mess with. That means I definitely could just match the spacing of this other brake screw bolt. All right. Well, got to remove the screw. All of them. Not too bad. I mean, I don't really need a full disassembly, per se. Yeah, as Nitro Pimp was asking about the screwdriver, I'm telling you, this screwdriver has never stripped any screws. Ever. It has never happened. Melissa, can you bring me my small Phillips screwdriver downstairs? And she's ignoring me. Man, don't you love having a passive-aggressive wife? Oh, we're about to see the internals. That's right, Nitro Pimp. You think, I don't want to have to say it, but you know what we all say about women acting a certain way around a certain time of month, right? In sync. They're in sync. It has to be. The weather getting warm, and so are their, you know what. Begins with P, ends in odd. All right. Well, let's see how far we can get. So it appears that they were using, this is definitely grease in there. Oh, no, no. No, I could see silicone in there. Okay. I'm going to put this over here for now. Let's remove. Okay, well, the good news is the gears are in normal operating condition. There's basically nothing in there. Melissa, I need assistance. Can you stop acting like Jennifer Love Hewitt? Get over here. Okay, I'm going to clean up the outside a little bit so I know what's going on. But yeah, this is basically completely empty inside. Not ideal. Okay, put that here for now. How you doing there, such fun stuff? No, this is just Inferno 3.0. Bottom of the barrel. But every Nitro deserves a second chance. The diff is, it's very, very loose. Let me see. Yeah, this is not a very good seal. I could see that already. This seal doesn't seem to have much sealing qualities. It appears to be literally a piece of plastic. All right, I cleaned it up to an average degree. Anybody ever seen a seal like this? Normally, Rico, what's up, man? Normally the seals are at least somewhat perforated. This appears to be like a plastic liner. Okay, I'm gonna just set this back in. Nitro Power, Nitro Racing Power, what's up, bro? You're joining me for a diff repair. Basically, it was extremely loose. Looser than the message of Britney Spears' music in the 2000s. Because if you really think about it, all her music was really about one thing. I'm surprised the FAA hasn't banned that sort of behavior, to be honest with you. Artists can't come up with anything other than one style of music. All right, what I'm going to do some earplugs. That's the Pac-Man earplug right there. Yeah, boosted RC. Yeah, exactly. I know. It's a Pac-Man earplug, guys. We're going to leave Pac-Man behind. We might wind up using that one. So it's kind of my technique. I like to cut them. You'll see why. It's much easier to work like this. Yeah, this might need about 1.5. The thing is, I don't want to completely lock it. So if you cut small portions, 1/8, it's much easier to evenly distribute it. Just take my word for it, it's true. This is tested hybrid techniques. Well, you know, if you go with 2 earplugs, they'll be basically locked. But if you don't go with 2, it'll be a little bit better. I'm not saying I'm going to go with that many, but I'm going to go with maybe 1.5. Yeah, it's a little bit of dirt, whatever. It's no big deal. I mean, this is not like a high-end chassis, so. See, with the small pieces, it's much easier to pack it in. Obviously, when you put in the ring gear, no, the sun gear, that little gear is called the sun gear, I think. Or bevel gear, one of those. It'll spread out the force. Yeah, sun gear, right? Okay. This is basically how I do it. I've done this several times. This method is accurate. It'll push this down inside, but in reality, you're still going to need to really pack more in there. So what I'll do now, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to reassemble it and seat it. It'll push it in. We'll put in a little bit more, you know. Okay, here we go. You basically want to get a little bit of tension on those screws. I mean, I probably could do it without that, really. But it's normally the way I do it. I just do a little bit, tighten it up. But generally, I put like 1.5 earplugs. You know, I'm not really trying to hardcore lock it. I'm just trying to get like maybe the effect of very, very thick silicone fluid. You guys understand my logic? This is going to seat the sun gear in the correct position. That's why I'm kind of locking up at least 2 screws right now. All right. Then I'm going to spin it a little bit. Okay, I can feel a massive, massive change in resistance. But as soon as you start spinning it, you know, it loosens up. So there we go. Loose again. So the first time you pack it, that pretty much is nothing. You have to spin it a little bit. All right, let's open it up again. Yeah, boosted RC is correct. It's like 100K. No, I would say it's more than that. So, I mean, let me just show you. I have tested this diff loop 500K. So the negative part with this diff fluid, it's going to leak out anyway. No matter what you do. This is also fairly expensive. I mean, I think I paid like $13 for that. And it's enough to maybe do 2 diffs. Yeah, boosted RC, I'm going to add another plug right now. The Pac-Man plug, right? So now that we remove it, you guys will see it's going to be a little more seated. Well, once I remove that. See, we still have a lot of space. So that's kind of how it would be packed in there when the sun gear is in. Plus, this method helps you push out some of that old grease in there, which really don't matter. You know, I'm kind of keeping the grease in there because I still want a little bit of lubrication. You know, I'm not going for 100% locked diff, guys. Just so you understand, I'm not trying to do that. Clean this up. I'm going for like a 75% locked effect. Okay. It's the Pac-Man special. Thank you, bro. Rock and roller, man. Looks like it's getting packed like a Taco Bell burrito. I'm thinking, what do we think? One more? Or just leave it? Leave it or stuff one more in there? It might be stuffed. I'm going to leave this for now, okay? Yeah, no, I think that's good. So it's about 1.5 I put in there, really. Okay. Let's see. Let me get the holes aligned and we'll cinch it up. What's up, Nitro and Chips, man? Happy Friday to you. I mean Saturday. Days don't really matter. Only how many Nitros you own matter. Some of us own a lot. found the hole. Yep, such fun stuff. I hear you, man. I might be in that situation myself in the near future, you know? Thank you, man. Only RC Nitro. Is always pleasure to have you here. All right, let me get it a little tighter, evenly across. Should be okay. Let's do a little test. Obviously, as soon as it starts running, it's going to loosen up like a lot. But it won't be nowhere as loose as it was before. It's better. Still, you know, maybe I should have put the last one in there, to be honest with you. I might put one, but it's now, I could tell, it's substantially tighter to turn. So it's not completely locked. For those of you that were thinking this is going to lock it, it's not going to lock it. All right? So I think it's good. That's just the old grease coming out there. I'm going to clean this up, I think. It wouldn't hurt to put a little more. So yeah, like honestly, like you're not going to be able to lock this up 100%. It's still going to twist. But it does feel like a proper 500K diff oil in there. And like the silicone stuff isn't really going to heat up as much. It's not going to leak out. You know, wouldn't be the end of the world if I stuck this in there as well. All right, my dudes, I think we're going to call it a day. I appreciate your viewership here tonight. If you want to make something like this happen, it's easy. You saw me do it. I'm no wizard. I'm just a guy with earplugs in one of my hands. Thank you all. I'm going to be here for about 1 more minute. And then I'm going to call it a night myself. So I think this is pretty adequate. Basically, by hand feel, if there's some tension, it's normal. You don't want it to be completely loose. You know, Lucas, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, bro. Kyosho Buggy, hopefully if I get it back together, this will be a runner for tomorrow. Right, y'all. You all have a good night.